Hey guys, so this week things are going to be a little different because I don't have the money to keep buying all these new games that keep coming out. So I thought I'd change things up again and go with some freebie kind of stuff for the next few weeks until I get some cash and I can start paying for video games again. So this week I decided that I was going to try something a little different. Since I was going to go with the freestyle, I would go with something, maybe that you hadn't even tried. So I went with some indie art games. I found there's a lot of really great resources. I tend to follow Anthony Birch from Destructoid because he's really big into the indie gaming genre, and thanks to his articles I found two, but one's a sequel to another one, but three really interesting indie art house games that I thought you guys might want to look at and see what I thought about them. So I thought I'd tell you, and it kind of got me into my artistic roots. I've been doodling up a storm. I've been working on this guy for a little while. It's pretty. I gotta say I'm really happy with what I've done with this. I like to call it unchecked power. It's sort of a satirization of political government and all that sort of stuff. You can look at it. I mean, I think it really shows just how much it reflects my opinions on government and unchecked power. So I think that's really good. But anyways, I got three little games for you. First up is Dear Esther.
Dear Esther, I have lost track of how long I have been here and how many visits I have made overall. Certainly the landmarks are now so familiar to
If you put a gun to my head and said, "Describe Dear Esther to me," I'd say, "Whoa, that's a little overdramatic." But then I'd tell you, it's a game where you kind of walk around an island.
fear of missing my step and plummeting down to sea.
You walk around this island and hear a series of
The
letters
mount
written
is
to
clearly
somebody
the
named
focal
Esther.
point of this landscape. It almost appears so well placed as to be artificial.
There's not much more to the actual game aspect of this game, but that's alright with me.
Motive to everything here.
Where the real art comes into this game is the soundtrack, because as you walk through these landscapes that are strange and somewhat beautiful in various areas, you get treated to this awesome soundtrack along with these rather, I guess, heartfelt and sometimes kind of creepy letters being read to you by this British guy. The game basically revolves around discovery, walking around exploring this island and discovering various cool things about it, and also the backstory of these letters and why this guy's written to Esther. Overall, it's a pretty interesting experience and certainly worth a couple of playthroughs to sort of try and get everything you can out of it, like a good short story. The next game in the list is Polaris. Polaris is basically a stargazing simulator. The premise is you're on a date with this guy and he takes you stargazing. The actual game part of this game is you looking up in the sky and trying to identify the various stars and constellations. It's a little basic, but I came away with it actually learning a bit about stars and constellations.
James, please. Now it's your partner's turn to speak.
Yeah, James, let me speak.
Handle with Care, which is Polaris' sequel, starts off with you in therapy with your husband.
Tell us, why do you think James...
The actual game takes place within James's mind.
Tell us, why do you think you do not...
You have to take James's memories about his relationship with Dylan and either repress them, which gets harder and harder to do as you go along,
James, lower your voice and calm yourself, please.
or you drop one of these boxes that blows up at the slightest little tremor and unleash these memories out in your therapy session.
James, don't listen to her. We'll work through this.
Tell us... James, truly a breakthrough indeed.
The ending changes based on your choice to either repress or let loose all these memories. It's a very interesting and deep concept for a video game, and it's something I've never really experienced before, so I enjoyed it.
Tell us, why do you
So anyways, the indie gaming thing is pretty new to me, and so is the art game, as it were. But I'm kind of interested in it now that I've gotten a chance to get in on it. I mean, Dear Esther, I don't know, I mean, if it qualifies as a game, because you don't really do anything, you just do the walking, but it's a really fun experience. And Polaris and Handle with Care are games, and they're all really short, but they give you, like, they sort of invoke an emotional response, which I guess is what we consider art, because I've never been a really big... my personal opinion was always that I think games could be art, but I've never really experienced games that are art, quote unquote. And I don't know if these games or games like it are art. You know, I don't know if I would consider them art exactly, but they're close. I don't know. I don't really have an opinion, I guess, on that matter. I can't judge it, because what is art, really? You know, who knows? But I think that if one were to start throwing around the video games are art, that these certainly would be tagged under that. If you were tagging them, you would say art video game under these, I guess, if you were so inclined to do so. Me, I don't know what art is, I guess, is my opinion. So that's a great way to end this, with indifference is what... I'll leave you with that. My indifference towards art games.